Welcome. I've got a real treat for your feet today. We're going to be doing some strength work for your feet. And many of us benefit from strengthening our feet in part because if we wear shoes that are supportive, our feet never have a chance to have to support themselves. And so feet can be weak and benefit from strengthening. That being said, this is a very general strength practice for your feet. You may find that some of the exercises we do are hard. Your feet feel weak in certain areas, and you may want to work on those areas more. You may find that other of the exercises that we do might feel easy for you. And it's important to pay attention to how your feet feel. So the strength work that we do may be hard, but it shouldn't hurt. So if you're getting pain or you're not sure if anything's appropriate for you, do discontinue the practice and get some more support. For today's practice, you'll need a washcloth or something similar and maybe a wall or a piece of furniture that you can hold on to for balance. And we'll just start in standing with a little bit of space between your feet. Start by just feeling the sensations on the soles of your feet and noticing if you're standing more on one foot than the other. Or maybe you're feeling your weight is more in your forefoot, or maybe it's more back towards your heels. And you may also notice that your weight may be more towards the big toe or the pinky toe side of your foot. And your 2 feet might be different. So start by just noticing what you feel. And then you can just sway a little side to side and forward and back. And see if you can start to come into a place where you're more evenly balanced between right and left foot. Between the ball of your foot and the heel. And between the base of the big toe and the base of the pinky toe. Now you may be able to find a place where your weight feels pretty evenly distributed, or you may not be able to. Either way is okay. Just notice where you're at right now. And then we'll start with some toe lifts. So the first thing we'll do is just see if you can pick up your big toes, lift them off the floor, and keep your other toes connected. Now you may notice either you rock way over on your feet, or those other toes want to travel up with your big toe. If that's happening, you might do just one foot at a time so you can pay more attention. And you also may want to either sit or bend over or squat down and actually hold those other 4 toes with your finger so that as you're lifting and lowering your big toes, you're able to keep those other 4 toes connected to the floor and start to train that pattern into your foot. Now, all of these exercises, you can work up to doing 15 or 20 repetitions and maybe 2 or 3 sets of each. But for the purposes of demonstration today, I'll just do a few of each one so you can see what they're like. Once you've tried lifting the big toes, you're going to keep the big toes down and see if you can lift the other 4 toes up. So now as you lift those other 4 toes, you may notice some other shifting happening in your feet. You may notice the big toe wants to come up as well. And so if any of this stuff is happening, again, you may just like to bend over or squat down so you can support your big toe with your fingers and practice lifting the other 4 toes up. Once you've mastered lifting the big toe on its own and lifting the 4 toes on their own, then you can alternate. So now you're going to lift and lower the big toes, and then lift and lower the 4 toes. Lift and lower the big toes, and lift and lower the 4 toes. And again, you can work up to more repetitions of this and doing a few sets of them if you like. After you're done with these toe lifts, take a moment to just stand and notice how you feel. Notice how your weight is distributed on the soles of your feet. And then we'll try something a little different. So this time you're going to lift all 5 toes, all 5 toes lift up, spread them at the top, hold, and then reach them forward as they come back down to the floor. Okay, so again, the movement is simple, lifting all 5 toes up, spreading them wide at the top, and then reaching them forward as they come down. So we don't want to let the toes curl in as they come down. We really want to reach them out and down. And again, you can work up to several repetitions of this, up to maybe 15 or 20, maybe 2 or 3 sets. Really working on that spread and then stretch as you're lowering. Once you're done with this, stand again. Notice how you feel, how your weight is distributed on your feet. And then we'll take this washcloth. We're going to open it out and we're going to put it down onto the floor. We're going to bring the toes of one foot onto the washcloth. Feel free to hold on if you'd like for balance. We're going to see if we can use the toes to lift the washcloth. Place it back down. And then again, use the toes to grasp the washcloth, lift it up, place it back down. So again, you're going to do several repetitions of this, up to maybe 15 or 20. However, if you're getting foot cramping or you're finding this to be really hard, you might start with fewer and then work your way up. Totally fine. Cramping is often a sign that this is a movement that you need, but that you might need to work up to it. And if your foot is cramping, just give it a break and then come back again and see if you can do it without cramping. So be sure to do both feet. You may find that one foot is easier than the other. The hardest part of this is getting the washcloth to stay spread out. It's not really part of it. It just makes the whole exercise a little easier. So then just like the other exercises, when you're done, come and stand. Notice how your feet feel. Notice everything above the feet because it's all connected. And notice how your weight is distributed. And then I'm going to take that same washcloth. I'm going to fold it in quarters. You're going to place that folded washcloth on the floor. And you're going to put your big toes on the washcloth. And the 4 toes will be off the washcloth. And that washcloth is just going to give some stimulation to the bottoms of your big toes and remind you to press the big toes into the floor. Now, this is a good one, again, to hold on to something for. All we're going to do here is a simple heel lift. So you're going to lift the heels up and lower. Okay? A few things to pay attention to. Sometimes when we lift the heels, we rock the body forward, particularly if you're holding onto something in front of you. So we want to do our best to go straight up, straight down. Okay? And then in terms of what to think about as you're doing the heel lift, press the big toes into the towel. Keep the big toes pressing as you lift up. Hold at the top, press the toes and slowly lower back down. So you're going to slow down that descent. You can go a little faster going up to the top and then slowly back down to the floor. And again, you'll work up to more repetitions of this. And we'll just do a few for illustration and then stand and notice how you feel. So I hope you find these fun and interesting to work on. I hope you start to see the benefits of stronger feet. If you have questions, please ask them in the comments.